Hey guys, Chris Ramalseda here with the Mojo team at Realty One Group, bringing a quick market update video. Wanted to bring you guys some information about what's going on in our market recently. I usually don't make these videos, but I have been watching over the past 3 years a trend. Actually, over the past 6 years, I've noticed this trend in my time in the industry. But even over the past 3 years, when our market has been crazy busy and homes been flying off the shelf, I've seen this trend continue throughout those 3 years, even with the way the market has been with low interest rates and people buying up houses left and right. And even now with interest rates going up, what did the trend look like? And the trend seems to be following the same pattern that I've always seen. I also wanted to just dive into some numbers to let you know how the market's shifting, what to expect. Is this going to be a long-term thing, or is it just a short-term, or how that's going to go from there? So that said, let's dive right into it. You guys might be wondering, what is the trend that I'm talking about? Well, in my past 6 years in the industry, I've always seen middle to end of May, end of the school year, the market slow down. Open houses tend to really suck. The activity there is not as high as it normally is. Houses seem to sit on the market a little bit longer. Negotiations seem to start changing between buyers and sellers. And there seems to be a massive slowdown end of May going into June. Then I typically see it pick back up come end of June going into July. In fact, my busiest times of the year are usually July and August, sometimes September, depending on what the market looks like. And I kind of seen that trend happen again this year. We're seeing a massive slowdown right now as we head into the latter part of May and as we move into June. Like I said, this is pretty common from what I've seen over the past 6 years. What might be a little bit different is the fact that we are seeing a drastic shift in interest rates. We saw obviously a huge increase in values over the past 3 years, and buyers are probably starting to really figure out, like, when do I want to enter the market? When is the right time for me in the market? And is this the right house? Is this the right price? All those factors are being, kind of looked at as well. So is this a trend, or is there a market shift coming? Well, one of the first things we look at in regards to this is interest rates. We saw a huge jump from 4% to 5.5% early part of this year. Everybody went into full panic mode. What the heck's going on with our industry, with our market? Interest rates are going up, blah, blah, blah. It's a big deal, but it's not as big of a deal as I think as we're making it out to be. We still are 2.5%, 3% below the 40-year average. Back in the 80s, we were at 12%. The 90s, we were at 9%. The 2000s, we were at 7%. It wasn't until the 2010s that we saw sub 5% interest rates. We've just gotten so accustomed over the past 5 years of seeing sub 3, sub 4 interest rates that it was a huge sticker shock to us when they went to 5.5%. That said, lenders have already projected this. They had already predicted the fact that the rates were going to go up. They built it into it prior to the Fed making the decision to increase rates. So they already built it in as they were quoting people out who were trying to qualify and trying to purchase. So if a lender was able to qualify you early part of this year, you were good to go. They were already calculating into the fact that the rates were going to go up. But that said, I know it does make a bit of a difference when it comes to monthly payment, because it's a few $100s based off that interest rate. So, we have to be aware of that. We have to make that adjustment based off purchase price to make sure that that's built into it to make you comfortable. But that said, I can't say that that's 100% the driving factor either, because we still have people that were like, hey, I was already pre-qualified at that interest rate, so I'm good. Like, it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. So the next thing to look at is, well, what's going on regarding prices? Everybody's waiting for this bubble to burst and this crash to happen. Our bar's been set. Like, the bar's set where prices are at. There's not going to be a massive shift in that. People aren't going to start listing their houses for less just because of the fact that homes are sitting on the market for 2 weeks instead of 1 day. They're sitting on the market for 30 days instead of 10 days. Like, that's not going to change. People are still going to price their homes based off what the market value is. The market is showing what the homes are worth based off of the information and data we received over the past 2 years. Okay? Understand something. In the 06 to 08 crash, supply was above average, demand was average, and it was poor lending practices that were allowing people to buy homes that they couldn't afford with programs that they shouldn't have been on in the first place, allowing them to then buy multiple homes, which in turn, when it came due for them to pay both their principal and interest, they couldn't afford them. So multiple homes are now going into foreclosure, which now is taking our above average supply even higher, and our demand's not shifting. So at some point, people are going to say, these homes aren't worth it, and I've also got a bunch of foreclosures that are hitting the market that I can pay half the price for. So eventually, boom, it's going to burst and those values are going to come down. We are in a situation where our demand's up here, but our supply is down here. Now, over the past 30 days, we are starting to see a shift. I think as of today, I saw active and coming soon in the next 30 days, we're at about 10,100 homes. An average market puts us at about 15,000. So we're almost to that point where we're almost level playing field with buyers and sellers. But that said, no other homes would have to go under contract, and we'd have to increase by 5,000 listings to be normal. Okay, to then get into a buyer's market, we would have to see ourselves in about 20,000 plus homes, which I don't see that happening anytime in the near future, definitely not this year. So that said, we might see more of a level off, more of an equal supply versus demand that benefits buyers to the fact of you're going to have more homes available to you to view at, less multiple offer situations, and more power in the negotiations where you might be able to get some concessions and some adjustments, maybe get some repairs done in the house as well. Those things have been going away over the past couple of years, so we might get back to that moving forward. That said, I won't 100% know exactly what's going on with the market, if it's a trend or if it's an actual shift in the market until we get into the latter part of June into July, where I start seeing is things picking back up, our open houses getting busier again, our homes not sitting on the market as long as they used to, our negotiating starting to shift a little bit as well. So as we get into June and July, I'll update you guys once I see where we're at. If I see this trend the same, then now we're going to shift. If I see it increasing, then we're just in the trend that I've always seen over the past 6 years. That said, some quick numbers to be aware of. We are seeing a 40% increase in active homes on the market today than we did a year ago. We're also seeing an increase of homes sitting on the market longer than 6 weeks go up 45%. So we are seeing a few shifts there. Nothing I would say to write home about, nothing to say that's extremely crazy, because once again, we're still trying to determine, is this a trend or is it a shift? So that said, that's the information going on right now. Buyers, you are going to have a little bit more power in this market than you did in the months and years past. Not tremendously to the point where you're going to be able to ask the seller for everything, but you are going to have a little bit more availability, a little bit more opportunity for you as a buyer. So definitely, if you're looking to hop into the market, now is a great time to really start exploring that. More houses on the market, less buyers means you have a chance to really get yourself into something right now. If you guys have any questions, have anything you want to talk about regarding this video, or looking to maybe get into the market, please reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, 623-693-5667. You can email me at chrisbrealty@gmail.com, or you're welcome just to comment here on the video or direct message me here on whatever platform you're seeing this. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great rest of the week. And remember, as always, you're more than a transaction.